Now, the greatest radio shows of all time.
Suspense.
The Shadow Node.
Washington calling David Harding, Counter Spy.
Classic radio theater.
The Great Gildersleeve.
Fibber McGee and Molly.
Dragnet. Gunsmoke.
The Lone Ranger.
Now, step back into our time machine with your host, Wyatt Cox.
Good evening, friends of the Inner Sanctum.
Well, a show that's become a favorite to some of you people, Jean Hersholdt, starring in an episode of Dr. Christian from 84 years ago, January 23rd, 1938, episode entitled The Brent Family. Listen closely, because I think we have somebody in this episode who is uncredited that you may be very familiar with. Thanks for tuning in on this Sunday, 23rd day of January. We have now 343 days remaining until we get to the end of the year. Georgetown College, the first Roman Catholic college in the U.S., founded in Georgetown, Maryland, now part of Washington, D.C. on this date in 1789. Elizabeth Blackwell awarded her M.D. by the Medical Institute of Geneva, New York in 1849, becoming the U.S.'s first female doctor. The first bridge over the Mississippi River opened in 1855 in what is now Minneapolis, a crossing made today by their father Lewis Hennepin Bridge. Charles Curtis of Kansas became the first Native American senator on this date in 1907. And Charles Lindbergh testified before Congress and recommended in 1941 the U.S. negotiate a neutrality pact with Adolf Hitler. In 1943, Humphrey Bogart, Ingrid Bergman, Casablanca released.
Of all the gin joints in all the towns in all the world, she walks into mine.
Sing it, Sam.
You must remember this. A kiss is just a kiss. A sigh is just a sigh. The fundamental things apply as time goes by. And when two lovers woo, they still say I love you. On that you can rely. No matter what the future brings as time goes by.
He's looking at you, kid. Louis, I think this is the beginning of a beautiful friendship.
Casablanca, released on this date in 1943. On that same date in 1943, Australian and American forces finally defeated the Japanese army in Papua New Guinea. The turning point in the Pacific War marked the beginning of the end of Japanese aggression. And in 1943, Duke Ellington played at Carnegie Hall in New York City for the first time. In 1950, the Knesset passed a resolution stating Jerusalem the capital of Israel. The 24th Amendment of the Constitution, ratified on this date in 1964, prohibiting the use of poll taxes in national elections. Now, some people try to claim that 24th Amendment actually prohibits people from asking for an ID in elections, and that is ridiculous. In 1968, North Korea seized the USS Pueblo, claiming the ship had violated their territorial waters while spying.
I do want very much to tell the people of the United States how much the crew of Pueblo and myself had faith in them for the entirety of our detention. I had people come to me and say on so many occasions that they never really appreciated how great it was to be an American until they had the misfortune to have been captured and stuck in a country that is completely devoid of humanity and truthfulness.
Pueblo Commander Lloyd M. Bucher on this date in 1968. In 1973, President Nixon announcing a peace accord had been reached in Vietnam.
The following statement is being issued at this moment in Washington and Hanoi. At 12:30 Paris time today, January 23, 1973, The agreement on ending the war and restoring peace in Vietnam was initialed by Dr. Henry Kissinger on behalf of the United States and Special Advisor Lee Duc-Tho on behalf of the Democratic Republic of Vietnam. The agreement will be formally signed by the parties participating in the Paris Conference on Vietnam on January 27, 1973, at the International Conference Center in Paris. The ceasefire will take effect at 2400 Greenwich Mean Time, January 27, 1973. The United States and the Democratic Republic of Vietnam express the hope that this agreement will ensure stable peace in Vietnam and contribute to the preservation of lasting peace in Indochina and Southeast Asia.
President Nixon on this date in 1973. In 1985, O.J. Simpson became the first Heisman Trophy winner elected to the Football Hall of Fame. In 1986, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inducted its first members, Chuck Berry, James Brown, Ray Charles, Fats Domino, the Everly Brothers, Buddy Holly, Jerry Lee Lewis, and Elvis Presley. Madeleine Albright became the first woman to serve as Secretary of State. In 2002, American Taliban John Walker Lind returned to the U.S. in FBI custody. In 2002, reporter Daniel Pearl kidnapped in Karachi, Pakistan. He was subsequently murdered.
Danny is solely a journalist. He has absolutely no ties to anyone in the United States government, including the Central Intelligence Agency. He is just trying to do his job as a reporter for an independent newspaper.
And, of course, was the case for so many reporters. They were thought to be spies, and Daniel Pearl was not. Final communication between Earth and the Pioneer 10 spacecraft on this date back in 2003. And in 2018, a 7.9 earthquake occurred in the Gulf of Alaska. Sixth largest earthquake ever recorded in the U.S. No reports of significant damage or fatalities. Passing away on this date in history, Irish brewer Arthur Guinness, actor, author, bon vivant Alexander Wolcott, actor, singer, social activist Paul Robeson, New York restaurateur Toots Shor, actor Jack Oakey, Vic Ames of the Ames Brothers, composer Samuel Barber, artist Salvador Dali, singer, actress Nell Carter, Bob Keeshan, Captain Kangaroo, Johnny Carson, E. Howard Hunt, the Watergate figure, fitness guru Jack LaLanne, singer-songwriter, record producer Bobby Freeman, Hugh Masekela, who was behind that 1968 hit Grazing in the Grass, and passing away 1 year ago today, Larry King and Hal Holbrook. This is the birth date of John Hancock, Randolph Scott, the actor, also Dan Duryea, another fine actor, comedian Ernie Kovacs, who was he was out there, passing away so early in life. You remember her as Millie from both the Andy Griffith Show and Mayberry RFD, Arlena Galanka, who passed away last year at the age of 85. Country singer-songwriter Johnny Russell, born on this date, had a number one song called Wooden Heart. Joe Dowell, born on this date, as was Dutch actor Rutger Hauer. Happy birthday number 89 to Puerto Rican actress-dancer Chita Rivera. Jazz vibraphonist Gary Burton is 79. Buck Rogers, Gil Gerard, 79. Anita Pointer of the Pointer Sisters is 74. From MacGyver, Richard Dean Anderson is 72. Pilot Chelsea Sullenberg. You remember Sully Sullenberg? Yeah, he's 71 years old today. Cheap Trick's Robin Zander is 69. From NYPD Blue, Gail O'Grady is 59. Law & Order SVU's Mariska Hargitay is 58. From Saved by the Bell and 90210, Tiffany Amber Thiessen, 48. And pro wrestler and now commentator Nigel McGuinness, 46. Those just a few of the people who celebrate the 23rd day of January as their birthday. And if this happens to be your birthday...
Hi, we're the Four Freshmen, and we just want to say, Happy birthday to you!
We're going back 84 years to January 23rd, 1938. Jean Hersholdt starring as Dr. Christian and the Brent Family. I'm Wyatt Cox. Thanks for tuning in on this Sunday Classic Radio Theater.
Here's some great news. If you missed the deadline to sign up for health insurance, or if you just have a plan you're not happy with, you still have a choice. It's called MediShare. There are hundreds of thousands of members, and they love it. MediShare has a 98% customer satisfaction rating, and this is obviously huge. The typical family saves around $6,000 a year switching to MediShare. Find out more. They're great to talk to. 833-34-BIBLE. That's 833-34-BIBLE.
So on this Sunday Classic Radio Theater, I want to ask you a favor. Do a listen here and see if this young boy is who I might think it is. Listen closely. If you're not a usual Classic Radio Theater listener or much into old-time radio, listen and see if you think this might be who I think it is. From 84 years ago, January 23rd, 1938, Jean Hersholdt in Dr. Christian on Classic Radio Theater.
From Hollywood, California, we bring you Chapter 12 in the Chronicles of River's End. The star of the show, Jean Hersholdt, in his greatest of all roles. The title of the show, Dr. Christian. The sponsor of the show, the Cheesebro Manufacturing Company, owners of the trademark Vaseline. And now let us get on with today's story of Dr. Paul Christian, starring Jean Hersholdt. It opens in Dr. Christian's office, where he is getting ready to leave for his morning call.
Judy, if anyone calls me, I'll be over at Mrs. Brent's.
Eleanor Brent's getting to be one of our best customers. What's wrong with her this time?
I don't think she's decided yet.
Oh, that's funny. She's had so many fascinating ailments to choose from, too.
Well, that Eleanor has her troubles.
And so generous with them. She'll share them with anyone. Oh, say, has Dick Brent got a sister?
Not that I know of.
Ooh, that kind of puts me in a spot.
Why?
Well, I was talking to Mrs. Oddie the other day. You know Carolyn Oddie?
Yes, I know her.
And she said she was in the city over the weekend, and she saw Dick Brent coming out of a moving picture show with some girl.
So Dick Brent with a girl?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Well, that's what she said. So I told her it must have been Dick's sister. I thought he did have a sister in the city.
No, I'm pretty sure he hasn't.
Oh, I hope Mrs. Oddie doesn't think I told her a fib.
Well, don't worry about it. She didn't believe you anyway.
Oh, you don't think she suspects Dick of being on the loose?
I don't know. Caroline Oddie is the kind of person who always seems to be able to burn her scandals at both ends.
Eleanor Brent isn't that easily fooled. One thing, if I were married and my husband should decide he liked someone else better, you know what I'd do?
What?
I wouldn't go around shedding tears about it. I'd find out what she had that I didn't have and acquire it doggone quickly.
Well, I don't know whether you would or not, but it's certainly a grand idea. Now, what did I do with my overcoat?
Hiya, Dr. Christian.
Hello, Tip. Where's your mama?
Well, she's here.
Tip, will you stop slamming that door?
Dr. Christian's here, Mom.
Well, don't shout. I can hear you. Oh, good morning, Dr. Christian.
Good morning, Mrs. Brent.
Tip, don't do that. You stand on a rug without wrinkling it all up.
I'm sorry, Mom.
Oh, dear. Look what you've done in the sleeves of your sweater. I try to keep you looking neat, and now look at
If
you.
I had a boy who looked neat, I'd be awfully worried about him.
Oh, here. Let me fix them. There. Now go out and play.
Okay, Mom.
Well, don't stand there. Do it.
I was waiting to kiss you goodbye.
Oh. Goodbye, dear. Now watch crossing the street. And close the door after you.
I will.
Tip, close the door. Tip!
I'll close it.
Oh, he can't remember anything for 2 seconds. Come into the living room, Dr. Christian. This house is a sight. But I've been having those sick headaches, and I've just been barely able to drag myself around.
Oh, that's too bad.
I put off calling you because, well, to be real honest about it, Dick's had a salary cut. I didn't want to run up any more doctor's bills. Oh, but they're getting so bad, I I just had to do something.
When you had them before, did that diet I gave you help?
Yes, at first. Now it doesn't seem to do much good, so I've given it up. Anyway, Dick complained about it. It was everything he didn't like.
Oh, but I didn't prescribe the diet for Dick.
Oh, I know. I didn't have time to cook 2 different kinds of meals. Besides, the diet doesn't do any good anymore.
Well, are the headaches worse in the evening?
Oh, much worse. By the time I get to the end of the day, I feel as if I just can't keep going. Lots of times I'm not able to get to supper.
Well, I should think Dick would complain more about that than the diet. After all, even the things I prescribed are better than nothing.
He's only home for supper 3 nights a week. On the other evenings, he goes to the city. The bus company is having some business meetings, and he says they need him there.
Well, say, that's fine.
I don't see what's so fine about it.
Well, I mean, if the company needs him at the meetings, he must be a valuable man.
Valuable enough to escape a salary cut.
Oh, lots of firms are cutting salaries these days.
Used to be he went to the city only once or twice a month. Now he's away half the time.
Well, he has a more important job now. He's the local manager of the company. He has more responsibilities.
We were a lot happier when he was just a bus driver.
You want to know why? Because you had something to struggle for. Dick was ambitious, and you wanted to forward him. You wanted a home of your own and a car and all sorts of things. You worked together, worked hard to get them.
Well, I still work hard. If you think taking care of this home and raising a boy like Tip isn't work...
Oh, by the way, is this Dick's evening to go to the city?
No, tomorrow.
All right, then have him stop at my office on his way home. I'll send something out that I want you to try.
Oh, I'll phone him right now.
Oh, there's no hurry.
Well, I better phone while I'm thinking of it. I'll be right back.
Where's Mom?
Phoning?
Look, I've got a dog.
Well, where did you get him?
Down the street. He followed me.
Well, it seems to me he's got you.
Come on. That's a fella. What kind of a dog do you think he is, Dr. Christian? Sort of a police dog?
Well, he looks kind of mysterious. I'd say he was more of a sacred police dog.
Yeah. He looks something like a wolf.
What are those scratches all over him?
Well, I guess he's been in a fight. Oh, I'll bet he's a great fighter.
He has a touch of yellow jaundice, too. Or is that his natural color?
Oh, he'll look a lot better when I give him a bath and get him something to eat.
Yes, I dare say a bath and something to eat will be quite an experience for him. What's his name?
I'm going to call him Jeff. Jeff? Come on, Jeff. Look, he knows his name already. Say, he's smart.
Let's see if he knows how to shake hands. Come on, shake hands. Come on, boy. Shake hands.
Jeff, shake hands. No, Jeff.
Tip, what on earth are you doing?
Look, Mom, I got a dog. Isn't he swell?
You get him out of here. What do you mean, bringing a dog into the house?
Oh, but Mom.
Take him out this instant and get rid of him.
Oh, Mom, can't I keep him?
You certainly cannot. I have enough trouble around here without having to put up with a dog.
I'll take care of him. He won't be any trouble.
You heard me. Get rid of him.
Okay, Mom.
Oh, why can't he keep him, Mrs. Brent? Every boy ought to have a dog.
No, I have enough work to do without having dogs.
But I said I'd take care of him, Mom.
Oh, yes, for about 2 days. And then I'll be the one who has to feed him and take care of him.
Oh, wait. I have an idea. I'll take him.
But what will you...
Well, let Tip keep him for me, and any time Tip doesn't look after him, I'll take him back. Does that suit you, Tip?
Oh, that's swell.
And remember, I'm not fooling. If you don't take care of him, back he comes to me. How is that with you, Mrs. Bryant?
Oh, well, all right.
Oh, gee, thanks, Mom.
But keep him outside. And don't let him come in the house again.
Okay. Come on, Jeff.
And Tip, don't slam the door.
Oh, he'll get over it. Well, I'd better be getting back to the office. Dick will drop in this evening, will he?
Oh, I don't know. He wasn't at the bus station when I phoned. He's gone to the city again.
Well, then I'll have Roy Davies send it out. Goodbye, Mrs. Bryant.
Goodbye. Oh, Dr. Christian.
Yes?
I want to talk to you about something. You've known Dick a long time, haven't you?
Yes, I knew him even before you did. Why?
Well, how is he about women?
Well, that's a funny question. I don't know how... What makes you ask that?
Because Dick's in love with another woman. There, now I've said it. I just couldn't keep it to myself any longer. I've got to talk it over with someone.
Now, wait a minute here. Wait a minute. What's all this?
Oh, I've suspected it for months. Now I know it's true.
How do you know it's true?
Everything proves it. With those trips to the city and the way he acts around the house. That salary cut.
I don't see what the salary cut has to do with it.
Oh, his salary wasn't really cut. I know he's just telling me that. He's taking that money and he's giving it to her.
Ah. When a woman makes up her mind that her husband is doing something wrong, she can prove it with almost anything.
But I've got real proof. He was seen with her. Mrs. Oddie saw them together on the street.
Mrs. Oddie. She goes around sniffing for romance. Did she tell you about it?
No, but I heard.
Mrs. Oddie saw Dick and some young lady come out of a picture show. That doesn't necessarily mean Dick is having an affair.
Something just doesn't sound right there. January 23rd, 1938, Jean Hersholdt starring as Dr. Christian. I'm Wyatt Cox. Thank you for tuning in to Classic Radio Theater on your favorite station. Visit my webpage, classicradio.stream, and we'll be back in a moment with the news of that date.
What does it mean to be an American? Just what are our American values? Working hard to succeed, loving God, country, and family, being honest, strong, and compassionate.
Supporting our Constitution and recognizing that we are blessed to be living in America, the greatest country in the world.
Our Bill of Rights protects us, our freedoms of worship, speech, and privacy, our right to own firearms, our right to trial by jury.
Our right to be free, to live our own lives without some bureaucrat telling us what to do. Most countries don't have these rights.
Want to know more? It's all there in the book. Get your own free book, The U.S. Constitution and the Declaration of Independence. Then read it again, and this time share it with your friends. Our great Constitution is the basis of all of our freedoms, our inalienable rights. Get your own copy at freeusbook.com.
Brought to you by the American Media Council.
Classic Radio Theater on your favorite station. Have you been listening carefully? Because I'm just really curious if you have figured out who I think that young boy might be. Anyway, we are listening to an episode of Dr. Christian starring Jean Hersholdt, as it was originally broadcast Sunday, January 23rd, 1938, in the newspapers of that Sunday. These were some of the headlines. The president of the Chamber of Commerce of the U.S., George H. Davis, called today for assurances that no additional laws regulating business would be passed at this session of Congress. In a formal statement sent to the Senate Unemployment Committee, he said the real cause of the present recession is due to lack of confidence in the future, caused cumulatively by the passage of laws culminating in the undistributed profits tax and the threat of the Wages and Hours Bill. House and Senate blocs of uncertain strength indicated today they would oppose the naval expansion which President Roosevelt expected to propose to Congress this week, possibly tomorrow. Members of an anti-battleship group in the House said they would demand full explanation of the need for a larger Navy. On the Senate side, a greatly enlarged Navy is opposed by some members of the so-called neutrality bloc, including Senator Nye, the Republican of North Dakota. A battalion of American volunteers in the Spanish Civil War reported today to have wiped out two squadrons of Generalissimo Francisco Franco's Moorish cavalry on the Pituitary Front. The Moors attempted a flank attack in the insurgent drive to recapture Teruel, but galloped into the withering fire of the government volunteers. J. Edgar Hoover declined to amplify tonight a radio commentator's announcement that the kidnappers of Charles R. Boss at Chicago had planned to seize Dizzy Dean and Joe DiMaggio, baseball stars, for ransom. Hoover, who flew to New York from Chicago after questioning John Henry Sealand, confessed slayer of the Chicago man, was in the studio as Walter Winchell quoted him. No comment whatsoever, an NBC official said. Hoover answered when told reporters wanted to question him about the announcement. What Mr. Winchell said was correct? Radio announcement said John Edgar Hoover, chief of the G-Men, stated tonight that Peter Anders Sealand, the kidnapped murderer of Charles S. Ross of Chicago, had made plans with his late Confederate James Atwood Gray to kidnap Dizzy Dean, the famous St. Louis pitcher. That plan was abandoned, however. They also discussed snatching Joe DiMaggio. And those some of the day's top news stories as reported in the newspapers of Sunday, January 23rd, 1938, on your radio, Dr. Christian, which continues now on Classic Radio Theater.
What reason has he for taking a girl out? He doesn't take me out. Oh, no. No, I'm only good enough to cook his meals and wash, mend his clothes, and take care of his house.
You don't know what an advantage that gives you.
Advantage?
Yes. When a man does what you think Dick is doing, it isn't always because he's in love. Sometimes it's to please his vanity. He wants to show off, or he wants to feel he's a man of the world, or maybe he's just plain bored. But sooner or later, he gets tired of playing that game, and he comes back to you.
But it's so unfair. When Dick was driving a bus and hardly making enough for us to live on, I worked, and I saved, and I helped him. And now the reward goes to some woman who's done nothing for him. Nothing.
If you think you're really losing, Dick, you're making a big mistake by starting to pity yourself. Men always run away from tears, and she'll meet him with a smile. Have you said anything about this to Dick?
No.
Well, then don't. And don't believe what you hear about Dick until you are absolutely sure. Even then, it would be a good plan not to believe it.
And let him make a fool out of me?
No. No, out of himself. He'll find it out soon enough. But accuse him of it, and he'll keep on being a fool, just to convince himself he isn't.
Oh, I don't know what you mean. All I know is what's right, what's wrong.
Anyway, why don't you wait? See if it doesn't all blow over. And if I can help you, let me know. Goodbye, Eleanor.
Goodbye. And thank you. But now, nothing can help me.
From 84 years ago, January 23rd, 1938, Dr. Christian. The conclusion next on this Sunday Classic Radio Theater on your favorite station. Mike Lindell, the inveterate CEO of MyPillow, wants to give back to listeners. You can get great discounts on all MyPillow products if you go to MyPillow.com. Click on the radio listener special. Deep discounts on all MyPillow products like the buy one, get one free special on Giza Dream Sheets. All MyPillow products come with a 60-day money-back guarantee, 10-year warranty. Call 1-800-951-8175 or go to MyPillow.com. Click on the radio listener special. Use my promo code USA. On Monday's Classic Radio Theater, we go back to January 24th, 1954 for an episode of The Jack Benny Show and a takeoff of The Shooting of Dan McGrew. Okay, that'll be coming up on Monday's Classic Radio Theater. Have you figured out this young man that I keep hearing in this show sure sounds a lot like Walter Tetley. He is uncredited in this. But tell me, when listening to this last part of the show, if you think it's Walter Tetley. Dr. Christian, 84 years ago, January 23rd, 1938.
We return to the story of Dr. Christian, played by Jean Hersholdt. The time is early evening some weeks later. The scene, the street in front of Dr. Christian's office. His car pulls up to the curb.
Hello there, Tip. Where you going?
Hello, Dr. Christian. Oh, no place special. I've been coasting, me and Jeff.
Jeff? Say, you wouldn't try to fool me. That fine-looking dog isn't Jeff.
Sure he is.
No.
Yes, he is. Oh, you're kidding, Dr. Christian. Come here, Jeff.
Yes, sir, it is Jeff. Say, I hardly recognize him.
I told you he'd look a lot different after he started eating regular. I'm training him to pull my sled.
Well, Tip, you've done a pretty good job taking care of him. I couldn't have done it better myself.
Thanks, Dr. Christian.
But say, aren't you out a little late? Your father will be worried about you.
No, he won't worry. He won't know whether I'm home or not.
Well, your mother will, when you're late for dinner.
Yeah. I guess Mom will give me a bawling out all right. If she isn't in her room crying. Why does Mom cry so much?
Oh, your mother isn't feeling well, Tip.
I didn't know grown-up people cried.
She's nervous. Things upset her.
Is that why her and Dad are always scrapping?
Well, I think it would be a good idea not to talk about it, Tip.
I don't mind seeing kids scrap, but it makes you feel kind of funny inside when your mother and Dad say mean things to each other.
Dr. Christian?
Yes, Judy?
Ooh, it's cold out here. I thought I heard your car drive up. Mr. Brent's inside.
Oh, I'll be right in. Come on, Tip. Your father's here. You can wait in my office and go home with him.
I guess I'll go on by myself, Dr. Christian.
Oh, don't you want to come in and get warm?
No, I ain't cold. I'll go along with Jeff. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Bye, Tip. Hello, Dick. Sorry to keep you waiting.
Oh, that's all right. I'm in no rush.
Good. Oh, say, I just saw Tip outside.
Oh?
You know, he and I are sort of joint owners of Jeff.
Jeff?
His dog.
Oh, yeah, I noticed he had a dog. Wonder how he persuaded his mother to put up with it. Hey, Dr. Christian, what's the matter with Eleanor?
She's been having sick headaches.
I know about those. Before she had headaches, she had bronchitis, and before that, something else. Now, what's really wrong? If she's sick, I want to know it, and what you can do about it.
Yes, Eleanor is sick, but I can't do anything about it.
You think she ought to see a specialist?
No. No, there's only one person who can help her. That's you.
Well, how do you mean?
Well, this would probably seem silly to you, but it's very important to a woman like Eleanor. To any woman. You've got your business and outside contacts. Her whole world is inside the four walls of her home.
So what?
Well, if you'd show a little more interest in her world, a little more interest in her, let her know once in a while that you still care for her.
We've been married for 16 years. We're not exactly on a honeymoon any longer. I got other things to think about. Making a living, for instance.
A little show of affection wouldn't hurt. It would mean more to her even than you're making a living. Women are funny that way.
She'd find out a lot different if I stopped earning a living.
Well, you have to look at her side of it, too. When you go to the city at night, you're busy, occupied. She's sitting at home, alone.
Oh, so that's what's the matter.
I didn't say
Well,
that.
if I hadn't gone to those company meetings, I wouldn't have a job. I work in the office all day and then spend half the night battling with a bunch of stuffed shirt executives. Why? So I'll be able to keep a home for her. And what thanks do I get for it? Nagging and whining, complaining.
Why don't you explain all that to her? Eleanor is an intelligent girl. She'll understand.
I have explained. She doesn't believe me. She thinks I go to the city because I'm interested in a woman.
Well, are you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I rather thought so.
I'm not ashamed of it. If anyone thinks I'm going to lie about it, he's mistaken.
And it's one of those things which just can't be helped. You didn't want to fall in love with her, but you did. And see, with you, you're going to be brave, both of you, and admit it. Face the world. You're not going to hide it as others do. No, you and she are different.
That's right, Dr. Christian. How did you know?
Because it's the same thing every other man says.
I suppose you think I'm a heel.
No. No, I don't think you're a heel, any more than a man who has a high fever. He's out of his head and talks queerly for a little while. But usually he snaps out of it.
I'm not snapping out of this because it's real. I'll go on providing for Eleanor, but beyond that, she hasn't any claim on me.
Except for the 16 years she lived with you, and sacrificed all her ambition for yours, and devoted herself to making a cheerful home for you.
That's what you think. Sure. It's always the man who's in the wrong. I haven't sat down to a decent meal in our house for years. I haven't been able to have any friends in. All I've had to listen to is her whimpering about something. You don't know what a relief it is when I walk out of the house. Well, I've told her I'm through, and I mean it.
You told her?
Yeah, we're finished.
Dr. Christian, you'd better come to the phone.
I'm busy, Judy.
But it's about Tip Brent.
Tip?
He was sliding on the pond.
Yes?
The ice broke. Dick, do you think Tip's worse?
Now, try not to worry, Eleanor. Dr. Christian's done everything possible.
What time did he say he'd be back here?
10 o'clock.
Oh, it's after that now. Dick, I'm afraid.
But Dr. Christian said...
Mom.
Shh. She's awake.
Yeah.
Yes, darling.
I want Jeff. Where is he?
Look, darling. Look. Here's Daddy.
We'll find Jeff, son. After a while. When you're well.
I want him now. Is he outside?
We've got to tell him.
No, not now.
But he keeps asking. All last night and all today. I can't stand it any longer.
Still, wait till Dr. Christian comes.
Mom, I've got to feed him. I promised I'd take care of him.
Look, I'll feed him, son. You're sick. I'll take care of him till you get better.
No, I've got to. I've got to go outside and find him. Mom doesn't want him in the house.
Oh, Tip.
Where is he, Mom?
Darling, you see, when the ice broke...
Oh, don't.
Jeff was fastened to your sled, and by the time the men pulled you out... Oh, I can't...
Oh, Eleanor.
I didn't know how much Jeff meant to him. I didn't realize...
We didn't realize a lot of things. But we will. From now on, everything will be different. Oh, you stay here with him. That's probably Dr. Christian.
How is he, Dick?
Eleanor thinks he's worse.
Is his temperature up?
I don't know. He keeps asking for Jeff. He says he has to take care of him.
It would be better if he didn't worry about that. Didn't you tell him that Jeff was drowned?
No, I couldn't. I haven't the courage. I'm not brave enough.
Let's go in and see him. Good evening, Eleanor. Well, Tip.
Hello, Dr. Christian.
Oh, you're not going to make a joke out of me, are you? And get pneumonia after I said you wouldn't?
I'm all right.
Sure you are.
I'm going to get up.
No, you're going to sleep now and get lots of rest.
But I've got to feed Jeff. Where is he, Dr. Christian?
Tip, sometimes things happen, and we don't know why. Sorrowful things, sad things. And we just don't see any reason for them. There's only one way they can be explained. Somewhere there's someone who watches over everything. Over the moon, the stars, and you and me, and each tiny blade of grass. And that someone is smarter than we are. You know, Tip, I think all of us are put on this earth to do certain work, special kind of job. And when we've done the job well, we're sort of promoted to a higher grade. Tip, Jeff has finished his work. He did what he was here to do. And now, well, they didn't get him out of the water on time. We mustn't be so sad about it, because that someone knows it's better this way. You've got to take his word for it and feel that somewhere Jeff will be waiting for you.
Dr. Christian's office. Oh, just a moment. For you, Dr. Christian.
Hello? Oh, hello, Roy. Yeah, well, can't you wait a little while? A little later. I'll be busy for the next half an hour. I'm going over to the bus station with some friends. All right, yes, that'll be fine.
Hello there.
Oh, here they are now, Roy. Call me at 5.
Hello, Dr. Christian.
Looks like a honeymoon couple.
Oh, Mr. and Mrs. Newlywed to the life. They'll spot you the minute you walk into a hotel.
Not when we have a 10-year-old boy along.
Where's Tip anyway?
He'll be here in a minute. He's giving Bud Miller final instructions about taking care of Rex.
He's got a new dog, you know.
That's fine. Well, have you decided where you're going?
Yeah, Eleanor wanted to go see her folks, and I wanted to go to Chicago, so we compromised. We're going to do both.
It's really shameful extravagant. We could have let the folks go till next summer.
If we're going to go on a trip, let's have a trip.
Hello, everybody.
Oh, here's Tip.
What's this I hear, Tip? You've got a new dog.
Yeah, Dad got him for me.
What kind of a dog is he?
Oh, he's swell. His name's Rex. He's a kind of a police dog.
Mm-hmm.
He's just a pup now, but he'll get a lot bigger. I think he's going to grow up to look something like a wolf. Of course, he's not like Jeff.
No, Tip. There never will be another dog like Jeff.
May we add our bit to the plea for funds to help fight infantile paralysis. All of you can become founders with President Roosevelt in the new National Foundation by contributing whatever you are able to this splendid cause. Men and women throughout the country are ready to take your contribution in the stores, hotels, railroad stations, and elsewhere. No matter how small an amount you have to give, it will be welcome. Jean Hersholdt, who appears on this program through the courtesy of 20th Century Fox, will be back next Sunday with another delightful story in this Dr. Christian series. This is Arthur Gilmore bidding you good afternoon for the makers of Vaseline Preparations. Heard on today's program was You Took the Words Right Out of My Heart from the big broadcast of 1938. This is the Columbia Broadcasting System.
So tell me, those of you with good ears, was that Walter Tetley or was it somebody else? We don't know because we don't have any records. But we do know that show originally aired 84 years ago today, January 23rd, 1938. Jean Hersholdt as Dr. Christian on Classic Radio Theater. Please do me a favor, visit my webpage, classicradio.stream. There you can stream our shows on demand, learn more about classic radio collecting, and contact me there, not only through the page, but also our social media links are there, so you can contact us through social media. The webpage is classicradio.stream. That's classicradio.stream. And not only can you hear our shows there, but anywhere podcasts are served, including iHeartRadio, Spotify, Spreaker. Just search for Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Search us through your favorite podcast app. And please thank this radio station and support their advertisers. Without them, this show would not exist. It wouldn't be here on this radio station. I'm Wyatt Cox. Tell all your friends the great radio shows are right here at this spot on the dial. Classic Radio Theater on your favorite radio station.